Trans Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review, and I do apologize for not having this review out yesterday. I was working and failed to mention that. So it's every other Tuesday that I work, so every other Wednesday I'll have a review out for you, just to let you guys know, and I do apologize for not making that announcement. Also, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody on the East Coast, healthcare workers, and just a general public. You guys are incredible people, especially in this pandemic right now. Just as the numbers start dropping, they come right back up. And that just, I just don't have the words. I'm sorry. I would be out there helping you guys in the hospital if I could. I have obligations here at home that I can't leave, so I otherwise would answer the call to go out there and give you guys a hand. I know you desperately need it. A lot of my friends have left again and have gone out to New York and New Jersey to help you, so there is help on the way. It's tough living in that an enclosed city like that. I know you guys know the rules, so you don't need to mention any of those. But just let you know that my thoughts and my prayers are with you guys, and I wish you all the best of luck. And I'm sorry that this is happening. I know from a medical perspective, we're doing everything we can to help get this virus under control. You know, creating a antiviral vaccine just isn't easy. I wish it were. It takes a lot of time, a lot of testing, and a lot of time to get it approved, because we want something that's going to be safe before we start inoculating people. We don't want anything to go wrong with this inoculation. So it's not a political thing. I can tell you that from a medical perspective. It is all about safety and making sure that we get the right thing right the first time. Because first rule in healthcare, there are no mistakes. They happen, but that is rule number one for us: no mistakes. Our patients expect us to know 100% of the time. So, PSA over. So today, guys, continuing in a tradition of October and the weird and strange month of G.I. Joe, we're going to be looking at a really cool action figure that I had forgotten all about. And until I came across him online, I thought, I gotta get this dude. He is just way too cool. We're looking at version 3 of Swamp Rat. Yes, Swamp Rat, this weirdo. I think Timmer did a review on this guy a year or two ago in his Monster Month. And Timmer, I love Monster Month. I'm glad you were able to find another monster in G.I. Joe to review, that being Overkill, one of the many versions of Overkill. It looked like his mom had an affair with a battle droid or RoboCop. Sorry about that. Had a person at the door. Solar panel cleaning. Sounds like a good deal. If those aren't cleaned right, I mean, dust and pollen block the sun, which I knew, and you know, you don't get as much energy out of your solar panels, and we're paying enough for them, so might as well get all the money I can out of it. So anyway, back to Valor vs. Venom, Swamp Rat version 3. He came in a 2-pack, which I do have, and I will, don't want it to show up on camera, but I will show you what the 2-pack looks like. I have one boxed. Got it cheap. We'll learn about that in my next segment of Byron's Gripes. He came with instructions, which is pretty cool. That's something new. We didn't really have actual written instructions that came with the action figure. Back in the 90s, they had the instructions printed on the card for assembling small accessories, but sometimes when you're opening that, the paper would rip off along with the bubble. But kids, you guys could figure that stuff out like that. I remember watching adults try to do a transformer and put, transform it back and forth, and they couldn't do it. And I remember that was a big deal on the news, Transformers, saying, they're fumbling around. I don't know how to do it, but I give it to my kid, and he just... Kids, they think that way. So I hardly used instructions when I was a kid. I knew what the toy looked like, what it was supposed to do, and I put it together. Real easy. And watching my dad put stuff together and learning new words on Christmas Day was kind of fun too. So it did come with instructions. Let me pull that up and also pull up a picture of a paint variant. There is a light shade and a darker shade of red that came on him. Either or, nobody really knows if one's more desirable than the other. And if you're a variant chaser, it's important to know this stuff. So let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. All right, so you see it came with a little instruction booklet on how to put the accessories on the action figure. And you can see the paint variant on the Cobra Sigil, and it was the same thing on his helmet, the light and darker colors. But really, I do go after variants if it's pretty significant, but a color change, no. I mean, it's not, we're not talking Crimson Guard backpack here, where one was hollow and the other one wasn't. And, that's a significant difference. And different colors on the Crimson Guard, one was darker and lighter. There's a lot of them out there, and that's a lot of variants to chase down, especially the file cards. It could get pricey. So here we go. Let's take a look at Swamp Rat version 3. All right, here he is. Keep on to say Tunnel Rat, so if I say it, please excuse me, but this is Swamp Rat version 3. Absolutely cool action figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. You see, bald like I am. But first, he comes with this pretty cool helmet with the red lenses on there. Sculpted on ears to add to his fright effect. It's gray with the splashes of black on there. It's made out of a soft plastic. He also comes with this tail. Really cool metallic tail, or it's supposed to be. You see it's a soft plastic too, but it looks like it's intended to be articulated with these little rivet holes in there so it could move, and I'm sure he could use that as a slashing weapon. It attaches to the back of his cloak. That cloak is kind of hard to get off the figure, but it's made out of this soft gray plastic with a Cobra Sigil up there on the shoulder. But the cloak attaches right into, or the tail attaches right into the cloak. All right, so this is actually my favorite accessory right here, his cloak and tail. He also came with this really cool gun. This is pretty reminiscent of a real world weapon, actually. Has a machine gun on top, and on the bottom he also has this pistol mounted. Has a flashlight on there, and there's a night scope that he could only see through, or see night vision through, or see, sorry, it's a spotter scope. It has a laser that he could only see where the laser is through his helmet. Military uses those. This is a really cool accessory. I never took a very close look at it until today, but seeing that pistol on there, it just pumps it up a little bit more. And he comes with a very tiny, easily dropped knife. It's made out of a kind of a dull black plastic, has a serrated back. Pretty cool knife. It could fit right here in the sheath there on his leg, and it goes down in there pretty deep and pretty tight. Could fit on either leg, actually. So that is a very nice accessory. Looking at the figure himself, he is bald. I mean completely bald. No eyebrows, no hair, so it looks more like the condition of alopecia. It's a condition where people don't grow hair. He has this mask that appears to be stitched onto his face, so he's more like a Cobra experiment. We'll find out in his file card what's going on with this guy. His eyes are painted in, very nice detail on there. He has this black and green bodysuit, which is pretty cool. On his arms, he has these robotically enhanced gauntlets. It looks like there's tubes and hoses coming off of them. Very cool. And of course, he has a sheath on both legs, and this red stitching that goes on his chest and arms and legs as well. It looks like he just stitched the black onto this green suit. More stuff going on here. It looks like an extension of, supposed to be an extension for his tail, and that makes sense. So it's coming off of his spinal cord, which makes more sense, kind of like Dr. Octopus. His spinal cord operates the tail. And he's wearing these black and green shoes with a gray stripe over them, or strap, I should say. But he is a very cool action figure. And I failed to mention his brown ammo belt. It wraps around. Very cool. You know, that's back when they were still doing the O-ring figures in the 3 3/4 inch size. Just a great action figure altogether. And he did come in this 2-pack with Snake Eyes, which I will be reviewing that Snake Eyes. I will open this 2-pack since I have another one. I got a very, very good deal on these, so that's why I bought 2 of them. So yeah, you can see just really cool looking Snake Eyes in there. And on the back, this has Snake Eyes file card. So I'm assuming that Swamp Rat's file card comes inside. I'm assuming that. But looking at it, it looks like Swamp Rat was cut off the back. This file card was cut off the card stock here. Where Snake Eyes, where his file card is. So we'll find out. That'll be very interesting to find out if the pack was actually a variant on it. And those are actually worth 4 battle points. They didn't do flag points, but battle points back then. So you got 2 battle points per action figure. So Swamp Rat. It says Cobra Valor versus Venom Infiltrators. A rat is a very good infiltrator. His allegiance is with Cobra. You can see it's cut out or set up to look more like an ID card. A corporate ID card, and there's a little magnetic strip that you slide. And a little identification barcode thing right there. So he could slide it into the time clock and get paid. His primary military specialty is Wetlands Infantry Specialist. Secondary military specialty is a Scrounger. If only that was a specialty, a paid specialty. There's a lot of Scroungers in the military. My dad was one of them. They liked to come to him because he was a medic and he had access to alcohol. which they would use to make hooch. So he could get the medical grade alcohol, and believe me, I would not want to try anything made out of medical grade alcohol. Whoa, you should not drink that stuff. It'll mess you up. Not in a good way. It'll get you drunk, but it's not good for you. Swamp rat. Says swamp rat infiltrators are Cobra volunteers or captured civilians who have been genetically altered with the venom serum. Okay, that's what this is looking like, more like an experiment. And have all their attributes of marsh rodent, marsh rodents, namesakes. Swamp rat forces can slither undetected under fences of fetid, stagnant sewers. Their night vision wearing and sense of smell are extremely acute. I would not want to be in a sewer with an extremely acute smell. Thank you very much. And especially good as frontline combat troops. Swamp rat troops are more effective to sneak up behind people and are very good at escaping and hiding when they are detected, simply like a real rat would be. And when cornered, they will put up a frenzied resistant attack even after surrendering. And it reads the bottom of the quotes. Nasty traps they set for us in electrified fences, but none of that can keep us from creeping in and gnawing through their walls. That is a quote from a swamp rat. And of course, there's a little disclaimer here. Characters and events references herein are fictional or not intended to depict actual characters or events. If I run into a person that looks like this and has been genetically altered to do these said things, I'm coming after Hasbro for lying about that. And I would just stay the heck away from these guys. So, yeah, of course they have to throw those little disclaimers in. So this is a very cool action figure. A lot of great accessories on this guy. Like I said, I just couldn't pass him up. I like the strange and unusual of G.I. Joe and just the weird characters all together. Cool action figure. Highly recommended that you get one of these. Highly recommended. Even if you're not, pardon me, get on camera. Even if you're not a 3 3/4 inch collector or a modern collector, he is still in the 3 3/4 inch line and an O-ring figure. So why not? That's kind of sort of how I started with the modern. Well, for one, they were cheaper to get a hold of. And two, some of the modern figures were still reminiscent of the older G.I. Joes, so I would buy those. And then larger modern I bought out of the namesake of G.I. Joe, and let's face it, they're cool. Come on. So I'm just a G.I. Joe collector, vintage and modern. For those of you who are wondering, you know, I'm not just a vintage collector. That has been asked before. I collect G.I. Joe from the beginning to the end. Yeah, it'll make for a huge collection, but I mean, it's G.I. Joe. It's cool. I mean, you should see this room. I haven't done a tour room update, but I have boxes. I'm starting to put everything in shoe boxes now. Or whatever I could find to store it, because there's just not enough room to display everything. So, tell me what you think about Swamp Rat. Cool guy. I wouldn't want to meet him. But let's go ahead and get into the next segment. Byron's Gripes. And thank you so much, Big Easy 77, for naming that. That is a cool name, you know, Byron's Gripes. I like that segment. So if you are looking for this dude, he is out there. I found a few pages worth on eBay of him. So if you want him mint in box, that comes with snake eyes. $18.85 to $25. I mean, you're getting 2 action figures for that price. So, you know, that is not bad at all. You buy them individually, that's when the prices start going up. So mint in box, in this case, is a very good deal. Complete, loose and complete with snake eyes, $12.99. That is up there with deal of the day. If you don't want them in the pack, cool. You get 2 really very nice action figures complete for $12.99. Deal of the day all day on that guy. Incomplete, he's missing 1 or 2 accessories. That's $15 up to $25.99. And no, I mean, no, just plain and simple. I really need bifocals. So $25.99, that is just really expensive for that guy. I don't care if he's 15 years old or not. He's still readily available and complete. So incomplete at 26 bucks is just greedy. And 15 is asking a bit much, but okay. You know, if you want to ask that, ask it. People pay it. That's why these prices are still high. And I'm one of them. You want a G.I. Joe, you're going to have to pay the price for it. You know, it's just the market for anything vintage today. So one that's completely accessory free, I mean nothing, just bare bones action figure, 11 bucks. That's not too bad. I would do that. And they are selling his pieces. So if you need those extra parts, you know, might be pretty unlikely you'll need a waist piece for these, because the crotches aren't, I haven't seen any broken crotches on modern figures yet, made out of a different plastic than the vintage are. And, you know, parts are great for accessories or for customizing. So his file card, $1.50. I will go with that. That's pretty much average on these file cards. But this guy is wanting $3.50 in shipping, and I've mentioned this before. That really upsets me. I mean, it does. It angers me that people are selling their toy for a cheaper price to move that item, but they gouge you on shipping. It does not cost $3.50 to put this file card in an envelope. Even if it's a padded envelope, it's still not $3.50. It's around $1.75 to $2 to send this. So this guy is trying to recoup a little bit of money for it. I'm sure that, well, I just don't know what these people are thinking. I'm not going to try to justify you to trying to mail to different zip codes. I mean, it's not going to be that much. So when I fall into this trap, and I have before, I contact the seller and say, hey, guess what? You charge this much in shipping, and your shipping label says it was this much. 9 times out of 10, or 9.5, I should say, times out of 10, I get a refund on that. And there's like, I'm sorry, I'm new at this, wasn't sure what to charge. And selling on eBay, they at times recommend a shipping charge because they ask for dimensions on the boxes. Sometimes I don't know, and I just pick the cheapest one. And even then, sometimes it's cheaper. But I don't pass that, the additional cost, off onto the person I sold it to. I eat that cost. Or I mean, even if it's more expensive, but you get the point. I'm trying to be honest about shipping. I don't gouge people. That's just wrong on so many stinking levels. I understand enterprise, free enterprise market in the United States, and I'm sure it's in most countries too, that you have the right to set the price at what you think it should be. If I could remember the economic theory of free enterprise, I got a C in high school economics, and that was the last time I took that class. So I hardly paid attention in economics because it was mentioning numbers, and my eyes would cross, and my brain would say, "What?" But I did learn some things, Mr. D. Big shout out to George Stellatori. I don't know if you're watching or you know any G.I. Joe fans, or if anybody knows George Stellatori from Red Mountain High School, football coach as well. So a lot of people just called him Coach, but we called him Mr. D. A bunch of us would hang out in his classroom during lunch because we met. His class was right after lunch, so we'd just hang out with him. And very cool guy, loved his students, loved teaching. Even let us come visit him at his house, which I thought was pretty cool because I got to see George Stellatori and not Mr. Stellatori. It seemed to be two different people. But finally, the final one on here, sorry to digress, but I just had to give that shout out. Final price, complete and loose, $10.99. Yes, absolutely. Deal of the day. Pay that. I mean, that's a great deal for this weirdo. And I do mean a weirdo. This is such a cool action figure for even if you're a horror toy collector. This would actually go in there. This would fit in with the horror genre because he is a genetic horror mutant, like Frankenstein's monster. That's what this guy is. I mean, he's a victim of the Venom serum. And I didn't file the Valor versus Venom line back then. Had too much going on in 2003 to 5 to really get seriously into G.I. Joe, because I was deep into Star Wars back then. So apparently there was a Venom chamber. I saw that online once, and they would capture these people or get the volunteers and put them in there and inject the venom somehow and make them into this monster of sorts. And that was what this line was about. And the Venom chamber, if you're wondering, it's $50. I'm kind of thinking about that one. But probably will not buy it at that price. It's just cool to have. It'd go good in my Mindbender's Castle diorama. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been fun. I love doing the Strange and Unusual month of G.I. Joe, and I really enjoy doing Friday Night Frights and Saturday Scares when that occasion comes up. That's a lot of fun. I love getting into costume and just being a vampire for an hour or so a day and reading to you guys. And I had no idea so many of you were into this storybook. It's a 3-book series, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz, and the drawings by Stephen Gammell. These are really cool books. I picked this series up on Amazon, $5.99 for these 3 books. These were actually on a banned book list for a while. I remember seeing that in a bookstore out here. It's called Bookman's. They had a huge display of banned books, and they were protesting not copyright, but freedom of speech kind of thing. And this was actually listed as being a banned book for children because it was too scary. And yeah, I mean, it scared me reading it at 9 or 10 years old. Didn't give me nightmares. I mean, the artwork is scary, but that's why I was reading it. I wanted to be scared. It was fun to be scared in that sort of way. So anyway, that little history on that. But thank you guys very much for all your support with this channel and with Friday Night Frights. I'm getting some very good feedback on that. A lot of people ask for it. I get emails every year. Hey, you doing Friday Night Frights? Yes. That will continue on this channel until I stop doing this channel. October is my month. I love October. I love the fall. I love the cool weather. I especially love Halloween. So thank you again. Thank you to everybody who supports this channel in one way or another, for subscribing, channel supporters making donations. Thank you guys very much for that. It's not necessary, but it is always appreciated. That just helps build this channel. You give me toys to review and free up money to buy toys to give away to everyone. And do you want to be involved in a giveaway? I'll be holding one here soon when I reach 500. Just have to be a subscriber. That's it. I'll be giving away a Pimp Daddy Destro and a complete 1988 Python Patrol ASP. And it's hard to find those complete. There's always a part missing. But yeah, I'll be giving those away when I reach 500 subscribers. I'll be holding a separate giveaway for my channel supporters, simply because they are our supporters, and they deserve that. They've earned that, and everybody, all the subscribers, get their chance at winning a toy. It might not always be a toy. I might give away movie tickets or something too. Not everybody's into G.I. Joe. So, thank you guys. That's just my way of thanking you. So you guys stay safe out there. Unfortunately, COVID is on the rise, as my PSA mentioned. Please stay safe. I want you guys to stay safe. I mean that. Having had it and taking care of people that do, you don't want it. You don't want anything to do with it. That's a fright in itself, and not the good kind. So, guys, please mask up, wash your hands. That's muy importante. That's how important it is. I'm saying it in a foreign language. Hand washing will protect you from a lot of disease. And this too, you don't want to know what grows under your fingernails, and you're putting that up into a moist environment. I know kids do it a lot. It's just natural. But that is terrible. Once I learned about what grows, the dangerous bacteria that grow under your fingernails, I stopped. I just use a Kleenex and clean that out when I need to. Yeah, I admit I was picking my nose, and if you don't admit it, you're a liar or a very disciplined person. Okay? Just putting that out there. So, yeah, very important. You know, just keep your hands away from your face, especially up your nose, as you just introduce stuff in that perfect, dark, moist, warm environment that bacteria just have a field day with. And I'll just leave it there. Okay. You guys are great. I do love you guys. It's a great time talking to you, and subscribing back to your channels too, and watching what goofy things you guys put out, or even you know, your G.I. Joe stuff that you put out, or even if you're not G.I. Joe related, I watch your channel. Even if I don't leave a comment, I am watching, just to let you guys know. Sometimes I just don't comment. So thanks again. You guys stay safe. Remember, always be kind to everyone, especially right now. A little bit of kindness does go a long way. Things are just getting goofy. People are tired of this, tired of everything, and it makes tempers fly, mine included. And I consider myself a very mellow person, but I've been on edge a lot lately too. So thank you. I do appreciate it. And especially, you know, be kind to your animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. And right now they're great for therapy. Give your cat a hug, your dog a hug, hold whatever animal you have. And just that bonding is very stress relieving. So we'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review, and it will be on a Tuesday. So we'll see you then.